How's it going, everybody? Sorry about no update last week. So just give you a quick rundown on what's happening and what's going on. During last week's Sunday long run, was it last week? Yeah. During the long run last Sunday, about 8 miles in, I had a pretty good, strong, dull ache in my right hamstring. I decided to try to run through it. I thought maybe it was really hot, really humid. So, I don't know, my gut feeling was I was just dehydrated. Maybe I was just cramping. So I tried to run through it. And after jogging a little bit, I thought that was working, but I don't know. About a half mile later, the dull pain turned into like a really sharp pain that kind of shot up and down my leg. So as soon as I felt that, I knew, well, this isn't a cramp. This is something worse than that. So just backed off completely and kind of walked it in after that. So I walked the last 1.5 miles of my 10-miler last week. It's not the end of the world. Came home, iced it for like 15 minutes, stretched again that night. And I got up the next morning on Monday. I was supposed to do an easy 4. So I knew it was probably going to still feel a little weird. So I did my normal warm-ups. And once I got out the door, I think I maybe ran half a mile. And then it was just definitely it was very much still there. So kind of just took it on the chin, turned around, walked back home, showered, got ready for work. I decided to give it just to rest it the rest of the week. So did that. The plan was to run again on Friday. So between Monday and Friday, I just lifted in the garage, mostly upper body. Friday, I tried to run again. I was going to do an easy 2 miles is what I was going to do on Friday. Just to kind of give it a test. Not even, last thing I wanted to do was stress it again. So 2 miles, really easy. I was running 11 to 12 minute pace. And got about 3/4 of a mile. Not that it was nowhere near as bad as Monday, and I think I probably could have finished, but it was still present. And decided to just turn around and walk back home. So finished with 1.5 miles on Friday, half run, half walk, and decided to give it at least a couple more days. So I didn't do anything yesterday, and then today I just did a push-pull upper body in the garage, and I'm finishing up now with a little bit of a walk. So what's the plan here going forward? I really struggle, I'll be honest with you, a lot with when something like this happens, just kind of throwing my hands up and wanting to say, screw it, I'll just switch from, running to go back to doing CrossFit. And honestly, if I could have, I might have. But with a hamstring, the last thing I wanted to do was switch over and start doing CrossFit stuff, some kind of heavy hinging thing or box jumps and make the hamstring even worse than it was. So the best thing to do, and to backtrack, there's a reason why I started this training for a race in December, in May, or even April. And that's because I knew I needed a long build up. Things like this always happen. There's always going to be bumps. Your body's got to adjust, especially as you're building and you're gaining mileage. It's such a delicate balance, increasing that mileage and increasing the load while still managing what your body can do and kind of riding the line between like being able to put more wood on the wagon but not hurt yourself. So I think it was a combination of again, just being dehydrated. The heat has really kicked up here in the past couple weeks, and with the humidity on top of it, it's like living in a furnace. I think August is just going to be killer. So we're just going to keep trying to ease back into this. I'm going to give it another go with the 2 miles tomorrow on Monday morning. And listen, if it still is giving me issues, I'll push it off again until Friday. I'm not really that worried about it. I've got a good base mileage. It'll come back and we'll just ease back into it. This is the reason why I built so much extra time. The one thing that this is going to do is it kind of knocks that July race just out of the water. So that's not even something I can consider now. So I don't even have to worry about that. So July 50K is scratched off. Maybe I'll look for, like a half marathon or something to kind of throw in late August, early September. It's kind of like a tune-up thing, but that's it. So I just didn't want to leave everything for another week. That's what everything's been up to. Hopefully next week's video, we're back on the trails, back running, and I've got some better news to share. So hope your week's gone better than mine. Get out there, get a run in. I'll see you in the next video.